Thank you, Vaishnavi, for such a graceful and rhythmic performance. Now, I may request our Director DSW, Professor Anthony Vegas, to please address the gathering.
Respected Chief Guests, Vijay Sardesai, MLA, Pathoda Constituency, our Vice Chancellor, Registrar, Deans, fellow colleagues, students. We are here today to have the induction of the Goa University Campus Students Union. One may think, why do we have the inauguration of the council in the month of January? For those of you who do not know, our elections were held in the month of September. We had various activities conducted by the council. So in other words, the council was operational, only the formal function was left to be taken. So in terms of the activities that we had the Diwali festival, which was organized at the School of the Earth, Ocean and Atmospheric Sciences. We had a Christmas festival and allied things at the Goa Business School. The council also organized a football tournament, a cricket tournament, and most recently there was a tournament for both teaching and non-teaching staff, important tournament in cricket, which was something new and innovative in that respect, which brought a lot of camaraderie between the various sections of the university. The Directorate of Students' Council is an interface between the university authorities and the students. So from our side, we try to promote all the activities, whether it is sports, cultural and allied, in the larger interest of the students' community. 2 years back, we revised our Rule 3 in terms of elections, where we started what is called as the presidential system of elections, wherein the president and all the members are elected directly. Earlier it used to be members elected and they would vote. So this is in terms of getting democracy more evolved and getting more participation and having a president who has the support of all the students. That is one step that we took 2 years back. This is also being done in terms of rules that have been changed for the colleges. And as we encounter some new kind of issues, we are always trying to improve and modify our statutes, keeping in mind the larger interest of the student community. I welcome you all for this function, and let this formal function be a meeting of gathering of various people, including our students and others. And I would like to end by quoting Khalil Gibran, and he says, "I slept and I dreamt that life is all joy. I woke up and I saw that life is all service. And I served and I saw service is joy. Let this be the motto for our elected members, and may we have a fruitful academic term for the next few months. Thank you once again and welcome to this function.
Thank you, sir. Now I would request you, sir, DSW Professor Anthony Vegas, to please escort our dignitaries, Chief Guest Shri Vijay Sardesai, sir, along with all the dignitaries to the dais. As a token of love, we would like to present a potted plant to the chief guest of today's ceremony, Shri Vijay Sardesai, sir. I request VC Professor Harilal Menon to please present the potted plant to the chief guest. Thank you, sir. Now I would request our President, Ritik Mandrekar, to present the potted plant to our Vice Chancellor, Professor Harilal Menon, sir. Thank you, sir. I would again request Ritik to please present a potted plant to the Registrar, Professor Sundar Duri, sir. Thank you. Now I would request our Secretary, Sarvesh Satoskar, to please present a potted plant to the Director, DSW, Professor Anthony Vegas, sir. Thank you, sir. Light is a symbol of knowledge and enlightenment. Now, I would request all the dignitaries on the dais to kindly come forward and light the lamp.
Ôi Vĩ ơi.
Thank you, sir. Now we come to a very special segment of today's ceremony. I may request our chief guest to kindly grace the occasion by handing over the badges and present a rose to our elected Goa University Campus Students' Union executive members. Firstly, I request Ritik Mandrekar to please come forward. GU-CSU Secretary Sarvesh Satoskar. Sports and Cultural Secretary Secretary Atharva Pednekar. Ladies Representative Ms. Sia Kalangudkar. Next we have Research Representative Viraj Vaingankar. Thank you, sir. You may please be seated. These were the executive members of GUCSU. Now we move forward to the group representatives. I may request our Vice Chancellor, Professor Harilal Menon sir, to please hand over the badges and rows to the group representatives. Firstly, I call upon Vidina Faldesai. Keshav Naik. Anisha Gaukar. Sanket Bandodkar. Raj Naik. This is Sanket Bandodkar. Raj Naik. Next, I would like to call upon Atharva Gawas, followed by Chandrakant Tamoskar. Chandrakant Tamoskar. Next, I would call Aniket Rane. Thank you, sir. Now I would request our registrar, Professor Sundar Duri sir, to please hand over the badges. Firstly, I would call Shane Rebello. Followed by Chetan Veli. Parth Kudav, followed by Kritika Gawas, next I would call Sejal Dukar. Next, I would request Rishikesh Naik to please come forward. Next, Prabhanshan Halvegar. Next, I would call Om Naik, Om Kamal. This is Om Kamal. Thank you, sir. Now, I may request Professor Anthony Vegas, TSW Director, to please hand over the badges to Prachi Halkarni. Ms. Prachi Halkarni. Vishal Vele. Next, Makarand Bhandari. Tejas Desai. Frisco Martins. Frisco Martins. Nitya Naik. Rohit Chari. Last we have Aditya Yadav. Thank you, sir. We now move forward to an important part of today's ceremony, the taking of the oath. Oath signifies commitment to serve with dedication, integrity and responsibility. I may now request our Honorable Chief Guest, Shri Vijay Sardesai sir, to please come forward and lead the oath taking ceremony. I request all the GRs to please rise up for the oath taking ceremony. Only the GRs.
We solemnly pledge that as members of the Goa University Campus Students Union, we will uphold the values of integrity, equality and transparency. We commit ourselves to serving the student community with honesty, responsibility and dedication. We will respect diverse opinions, promote unity, and work collectively for the welfare of all students. We pledge to abide by the Constitution and the rules of Goa University Campus Students Union, to act ethically and fairly in all our responsibilities, and to always place the interest of the student community first. We promise to be accountable for our actions, to represent Goa University with dignity, and to contribute positively to the growth and reputation of Goa University Campus Students Union. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I shall now request the President of Goa University Campus Students Union, Ritik Mandrekar, to kindly address the gathering and share his thoughts.
कोकणी उलय, कोकणी बरय, कोकणीन सरकार चलय, ही एक कोकणीतली म्हण. आणि म्हाका दिसता की आयज हांव एक कोंकणी मोगी आणि कोंकणी भाशा ही आयज जपून दवरप खूप गरजेचें आसा. सो म्हजी 2 उतरां जी तुमच्या मेरेन पावची आसतली ती कोंकणीन आसतली. सर्वप्रथम स्वागत करता आसतना आमचे सगळे ग्रुप रिप्रेझेंटेटिव्स, तशेंच आमचे स्टुडंट वेलफेअरचे डायरेक्टर बाब एंथनी वेगस सर, आमचे विद्यापीठाचे रजिस्ट्रार बाब सुंदर धुरी सर, तशेंच आमचे गोवा युनिव्हर्सिटीचे वायस चान्सेलर प्रोफेसर रिलाल मेनन सर, आणि आमच्या मदीं आयज चीफ गेस्ट म्हणून आयिल्ले आमचे एक उत्कृष्ट लेजिस्लेचर आणि त्याच पद्धतीन माजी उपमुख्यमंत्री बाब विजय सरदेसाई सर, तशेंच हांगा जमिल्ले सगळे स्कुलाचे डीन, प्रोग्राम डायरेक्टर्स, टीचिंग नॉन टीचिंग स्टाफ आणि माझ्या इश्टांनो, ह्या माचयेर रावन हांव तुमच्या सगळ्यांचो ह्या कावन्सील इनॉग्रेशनाक स्वागत करता. पयलेच सुवातेर सांगपाक सोदता की ह्या कावन्सील इनॉग्रेशनाक थोडोसो वेळ जालो. सो कित्याक जालो हें बी तुमकां कळपाक जाय. आयज आमचे इलेक्शन डिक्लेअर जातात, थोड्याच वेळान UCR इलेक्शनाची फेस जाली. त्याच्या उपरांत भुरग्यांचो सेमिस्टर आयलो. मागीर खूप वेळा VC सराची अवेलेबिलिटी नासलेली आणि मागीर फायनल फेस येयली UCR इलेक्शनाची. सो हे सगळे फॅक्टर्सां खातीर आमचो आयज इनॉग्रेशन मातसो डिले जालो. आता हो इनॉग्रेशन एक भुरग्यां खातीर जे इलेक्टेड रिप्रेझेंटेटिव्स आसा तांच्या खातीर एक खोशयेचो कसो दीस. पूण म्हाका दिसता की हे कावन्सील कशें कितें फॉर्म जालें आयज ते सगळ्या भुरग्यांक कळपाक जाय. म्हजी ही एक पर्सनल कशी स्टोरी आसा. हांव म्हाजी MSc कंप्लीट करून वेदांतान कॅम्पस प्लेसमेंटा थ्रू म्हाका जॉब मेळ्ळो, फिक्स जॉब, दॅट इज असोसिएट ऑफिसर. 8 म्हयने हांवें वेदांतान काम केलें, पूण मनान म्हणटा तें सूख मेळनासलेलें. एक गोंया खातीर कितें तरी करून दाखोवपाची जिद्द मनान आसलेली. आणि 8 म्हयन्या उपरांत हांवें रेजिग्नेशन मारलें. रेजिग्नेशन जेन्ना मारलें तेन्ना घरा आवय बापायक सांगूंक ना. घरा येवन तांकां सांगलें, म्हाजो फोक काडलो, अक्षरशः फोक काडला. पूण खरें सांगचें म्हटल्यार त्या टायमार मनांच्यान काना पेरेन एक आवाज घुंवतालो, कहीं पहुंचने के लिए कहाँ से निकलना बहुत जरूरी है. आणि म्हाका दिसता की त्या टायमार हांवें वेदांता सोडूंक नासलेली जाल्यार आयज केन्नाच हांव प्रेजिडेंट जावचो नासलेलो. सो आमच्या लायफान कितें जाता पळय तें आमी सदींच बऱ्या खातीर घेवपाक जाय. तो विचार घेवन हांवें गोवा युनिव्हर्सिटीन MBA एडमिशन घेतलें. MBA जेन्ना पावलो तेन्ना भुरग्यांच्या फुड्यान आमी विचार मांडले की आमचो विजन कितें आसपाक जाय. आनी फक्त विजन मांडूंक ना, विजनाचो रोड मॅप कसो कितें आसपाक जाय हे भुरग्यांच्या फुड्यान मांडलें. आमकां खबर आसलेली की सिस्टम आमकां अंडरस्टँड करतले जाल्यार सिस्टमान भितून सरपाची गरज आसा. आनी त्या खातीर आमी सगळ्या भुरग्यांक कन्सिडर करून ग्रुप रिप्रेझेंटेटिव्ह लास्ट इयर आमी हो पोस्ट आमी रिप्रेझेंट करपाचो निश्चय घेतलो. त्या टायमार आमी भुरग्यां मुखार गेले, भुरग्यांक आमचे विचार सांगले आनी त्या भुरग्यांक विचार पटले. आनी त्या टायमार म्हाका दिसता की फूल त्या कावन्सिलान 30 जाणांचो कावन्सिल आसता, भितूरलो फक्त एक हांव इंडिपेंडंट ग्रुप रिप्रेझेंटेटिव्ह म्हणून निवडून आयिल्लो आनी तेंच्या वांगडा ऑपोजीट आसलेले 29. सो इट इज लायक 29 वर्सेस 1. हांव फक्त त्या टायमार एक ग्रुप रिप्रेझेंटेटिव्ह न्हू, बट स्टुडंट ऑपोजिशन लिडर म्हणून हांवें ह्या युनिव्हर्सिटीन काम केलां. खुबशे धमक्यो अश्यो तश्यो चालूच आसलेल्यो, बट एट दी एंड तूं जर मनांतल्यान कितें तरी बरें करूंक सोदता जाल्यार सदींच म्हाका दिसता की देव सुद्दां तुज्या वांगडा रावता. ही धोरणां घेवन आमी फक्त गोवा बिझनेस स्कुलान भुरग्यां मुखार गेले आनी भुरग्यांनी आमकां एक बरोसो मॅन्डेट दिलो. हो मॅन्डेट फक्त गोवा बिझनेस स्कुला पुरतीच नासलेलो. आमकां खबर आसलेलें की आमकां गोवा युनिव्हर्सिटीवर एक डेव्हलपमेंट जाय आनी त्या खातीर आमी त्या टायमार डिसायड केलें की आमी नेक्स्ट इयर गोवा युनिव्हर्सिटी कॅम्पस स्टुडंट युनियन फूल इलेक्शन कंटेस्ट करतले म्हणून. आनी म्हाका सांगूंक दिसता की आमी त्या टायमार आमचो जो ग्रुप आसलेलो 9 ते 5 पर्यंत काम करताले. फर्स्ट शिफ्ट कशी भुरग्यां मदीं वचप, भुरग्यांचे इश्यूज जाणून घेवप आनी त्याच्या उपरांत हांव तेसल हे सगळे आमी रातचे हॉस्टेलान बसताले, इश्यूज ड्राफ्ट करताले, स्टडी करताले, ब्रेन स्ट्रॉम करताले. आनी हे सगळे जावन म्हाका दिसता आमची 10-11 म्हटल्यार कॉलेजीनूच आसताले. सदचोच आमचो सदचीच कार्यक्रम हे केन्नाच म्हाका याद ना की सच्या पयलीं हांव घरा येयला. 10-11 जाली काय घरा पावपाक एक 11-12 जाताली. आनी घरा पावले काय आवयचे एक उतार म्हाका याद येता की तुज्याच माथ्यार दिला रे युनिव्हर्सिटी, म्हाका दिसता म्हजी आवय सुद्दां हांगा आसा, पूण तिका हांव सांगपाक सोदता की युनिवर्सिटी म्हाज्या माथ्यार दिला अशें कांय ना, पूण हें कोणी तरी करपाकूच जाय आनी हांव हें करपाक सक्षम ना काय कितें हो क्वेश्चन मार्क म्हाज्या फुड्यान येता, पूण हांव सक्षम आसलेलो म्हणून आमी हें करूंक पावले. सो हेंच म्हाका तुमकां सगळ्यांक सांगपाक जाय आसलेलें. पूण हेच्या फुडें म्हाका दिसता की आमी जिद्द खंयच सोडली ना. युनिवर्सिटी भर एक बदलावाचो वारो आमी घोरूंक लागले आनी त्याच बदलावाच्या वाऱ्यान एक युनिटी इन डायवर्सिटी हो स्लोगन चल्लो आनी तितूंतल्यान निर्मिती जाली युनायटेड युनिवर्सिटीची. सगळे धर्म जात सगळे सायडीक दवरून भुरग्यां खातीर जर तुमकां कितें करपाक जाय जाल्यार तुमी फुडें येवचें. हो आमी एक स्लोगन भुरग्यां फुड्यान मांडलो आनी म्हाका दिसता की त्या इलेक्शनाक आमी युनायटेड युनिवर्सिटी म्हणून गेले. इलेक्शनाक एक आठवडो आसलेलो. एक्सटर्नल फोर्सीस अप्लाय जावपाक स्टार्ट जाले. खरी स्टोरी तुका आमची सांगता. आमच्या भुरग्यांक फोन येवपाक लागले, धमकी येवपाक लागल्यो, पूण भुरगे खंयच फाटीं रावले ना. थोड्यांक फोन घेवन सांगपाक लागले की तुजी घर इलिगल आसा, तुजो पेरंट्स आसा तो गव्हर्मेंट सर्वंटाची ट्रान्सफर, असले भुरग्यांक. पूण आमचे भुरगे खंयच सकयल मान घातली ना. आमकां खबर आसलेलें की आमी युनिवर्सिटी खातीर कितें तरी बरें करता आनी तेच एक्सटर्नल फोर्साचेर युनिवर्सिटीच्या भुरग्यांनी जो आमकां मॅन्डेट दिलो तो एक कानपाड्यार पडलेल्या भशेन जालें. म्हाका दिसता की आयज आमी कितें तरी बरें करूंक सोदलेले फुडें म्हणून भुरगे आमचे सगळ्या वांगडा रावले. पूण आमचो विजन कितें हो आयज म्हाका दिसता तुमकां सगळ्यांक कळपाक जाय. मेन गजाल आसलेली की हांव जो विजन आसा तो 2 पार्टान डिवायड करून सांगता. एक म्हणजे आमी कितें कितें आमचें उरलां, कोण आपलो अचिवमेंट पयलीं सांगतलो, पूण म्हाका दिसता की आमी तें कितें कितें उरलां हें तुमकां पयलीं कळपाक जाय. एक म्हणजे प्लेसमेंट सेल. आयज अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट रेट 9.7 आसा गोंयांत. सो म्हाका दिसता की आयज प्लेसमेंट सेल युनिवर्सिटीन जर स्टुडंट्स जर तेजे पार्ट जाले जाल्यार म्हाका दिसता आमी खूब तरेन तो बरे तरेन सॉल्व करूं शकता. सो आमी ऑलरेडी रजिस्टर सरा कडेन आमचे ते प्रपोजल व्हरून दिला की प्लेसमेंट सेल आसा भितून स्टुडंट रिप्रेझेंटेटिव्ह आसपाक जाय म्हणून. त्याच पद्दतीन हांव सांगपाक सोदता की जो प्लेसमेंट सेल आमचो आसा युनिवर्सिटीचो तेचो चेअरमॅन आसा तो ऑलरेडी मल्टीटास्क करता, शिकयता सुद्दां आनी हें सुद्दां हँडल करता. सो आमच्या चीफ गेस्टाक सुद्दां हांव रिक्वेस्ट करपाक सोदता की आमी बीसी रजिस्टर सरा कडेन गेल्ले तेन्ना आमी डिमांड केल्लो की एक डेडिकेटेड पर्सन एक ह्या चेअरमॅन म्हणून आसपाक जाय, फक्त हेजें काम फक्त प्लेसमेंट सेल पळोवपाक जाय. सो म्हाका दिसता की सरान सांगलेलें की ते आमच्या खातीर ना गव्हर्मेंटाच्या खातीर आसा. सो आमच्या चीफ गेस्टाक हांव रिक्वेस्ट करपाक सोदता की मातसो गव्हर्मेंटाचेर प्रेशर घालून हो आमचो प्लेसमेंट सेल आसा ताका एक डेडिकेटेड चेअरमॅन हाडचो, जणे करून जर प्लेसमेंट इशू जर सॉल्व जालो म्हाका दिसता युनिवर्सिटीन 30% भुरग्यांचें काम सोंपतलें, एम्प्लॉयमेंट भुरग्यांक मेळटलो. सेकंड आसा की पर तालुका ईच बस. आमी हो नवोचो प्रपोजल युनिवर्सिटीन हाडलो. एका तालुक्याच्यान एक बस युनिवर्सिटीन येवपाक जाय. म्हाका दिसता हेजो प्रपोजल घेवन आमी केटीसीएला पर्यंत पावले. तांच्यांनी आमकां सांगलें की डेटा कलेक्ट करून हाडून दिया. तो डेटा आमी तांकां व्हरून दिलो. सो हांव सरा कडेन मागता की हे मातशें विधानसभेक काडचें की एवरी तालुक्याच्यान एक बस सकाळी येवपाक जाय, सांजची वचपाक जाय भुरग्यांक घेवन. थर्ड म्हणजे वायफायचो इशू. सगळ्या भुरग्यांक चडसो वायफायचो इशू आसा. सो म्हाका दिसता की रजिस्टर सरान आमकां सांगला की वायफायचो इशू बेगींतल्या बेगीन सॉल्व जातलो, तेंचे फायली पास जाला म्हणून. आनी फोर्थ आसलेलो तो म्हणजे कॅम्पस एम्युनिटीज मिटींग इन हॉस्टेलाचो इशू, मॅथ्स इशू. आमी म्हाका दिसता की पयलो कावन्सील आसा जो रिप्रेझेंट करता कॅम्पस एम्युनिटीज मिटींग, हेज्या पयलीं कोणी केल्लें ना. आनी आमी त्या मिटिंगेक एक प्रपोजल मांडलो की निदान बॉयज हॉस्टेलांत तरी एक मॅथ्स आसा पळय तो मॅथ्स आमचो गोंयचो कोणाचो तरी आसपाक जाय, सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप थ्रू आसपाक जाय. तेंच्यांनी एग्री सुद्दां केला तेका. सो आमी सगळे मेळोन कितें डिसिजन घेतलें. हे कितें आमचें उरलां तें. आतां आमी कितें कितें केलें. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल हांव सांगपाक सोदता की आमी एक युनिवर्सिटी पर एक युनिटी क्रिएट केली. म्हणजे कल्चरल इव्हेंट आसूं, स्पोर्ट्स इव्हेंट आसूं, कल्चरल आमी सगळ्या धर्माचे रिलिजनाचे एकी कडेन येवन एक कल्चर सेलिब्रेट केलो. फॉर एक्झाम्पल दिवाळी करून दाखयली, क्रिसमस केलो, मकर संक्रांती केली. त्याच पद्दतीन स्पोर्ट्स जर फिल्डान पळोवपाक गेले जाल्यार आमचो कावन्सील पयलोच असो कावन्सील आसा जो फुटबॉल चॅम्पियनशीप स्टार्ट करपी, जो क्रिकेट चॅम्पियनशीप स्टार्ट करपी. आनी ना की फक्त स्टुडंट्सांक, पूण एक आमी क्रिकेट नॉकआउट टुर्नामेंट फॅकल्टी आनी नॉन फॅकल्टी जे आसा तांच्या खातीर सुद्दां करून दाखयलो. त्याच पद्दतीन आमी युनिवर्सिटी भर भुरग्यां पर्यंत भोंवले, तांकां कितें इश्यूज आसा ते घेतले, कलेक्ट केले. म्हाका दिसता मेजर आसा तो म्हणजे आमी कॅन्टीन जे आसलेले तितून प्रायसीस चड आसलेले ते आमी करून दाखयले कमी. मागीर तेच्या उपरांत स्पीड ब्रेकराचो इशू आमी करून दाखयलो. आनी म्हाका दिसता की आयज हे सगळे इश्यूज आमी करूंक पावले. दिस इज जस्ट बिकॉज की आमचो एंथनी वेगस सर, आमचे रजिस्टर, आमचे बीसी हेंच्यांनी आमच्या वांगडा एक प्रो एक्टिवनेस दाखयलो. सो हांव सगळ्यां कडेन मागता की तेंच्या खातीर एक ताळयो जावन करून दाखयलो. खुबशे विशय अजूनय आसा. सो हांव तांचे कडेन मागता की ताचेरूय मातसो लक्ष दिवचो आनी तुमी लक्ष दितले ही म्हाका खबर आसा. सांगपाचें म्हटल्यार की आयज हे 2 गजाली जाल्यो. तिसरी मेन गजाल म्हणजे आमकां फक्त एकूच वरास मेळटा आनी ह्या एका वरासान आमच्या इलेक्शनाक पयलींच लेट जालो. सो 8-9 म्हयनेच आमकां मेळटा. आमच्या सरांक बीन 5 वर्सां मेळटा, पण आमकां 8च म्हयने मेळटा. पूण ह्या 8 म्हयन्यान आमी खुबश्यो गजाली चेंज करपाक ट्राय केलो, पूण देवाच्या कृपेन आनी जनतेक जाय जाल्यार एका वर्साची 5 वर्सां केन्ना जावं शकता, हे देवाच्या हातीन आसा. लास्ट चड उलयना, बट युथा बद्दल उलोवपाक सोदता की आयचो युनिवर्सिटीचो यूथ तसोच गोंयचो यूथ म्हणटा पळय त्याच्या मदीं चळवळ आसा. 1-2 दीस पयलीं हांवें एक स्टेटमेंट पळयलें आमचे हॉनरेबल मायकल लोबोचे, आनी तो म्हणटा की यूथ सुशेगाद जाला. हांव कोणाक पर्सनल टार्गेट करिना, बट तेच्या स्टेटमेंटार सांगता की यूथ सुशेगाद जाला, आमी सुशेगाद जावंक ना. आनी ताका दिसता की आमी एक प्रॉब्लम कसो, वी आर नॉट दी प्रॉब्लम, वी आर दी ब्युटिफूल सोल्युशन टू एवरी प्रॉब्लम आउट देयर. सो म्हाका दिसता की जेका कोणाक दिसता पळय आमी प्रॉब्लम कशें, एकदां युनिवर्सिटीन येवचें आनी आमच्या कडेन एक डिस्कशन करचें. आमच्या मदीं कितें प्रॉब्लम आसा पळय तो जाणून घेवचो. हांव सांगता आमच्या मदीं 3 मेजर प्रॉब्लम आसा. एक म्हणजे एज्युकेशन. आयज जे आमी शिकता आनी जे इंडस्ट्रीक जाय ताच्या मदीं एक वॉयड आसा, तो वॉयड फील जावपाक जाय. दुसरें म्हणजे एम्प्लॉयमेंट. एम्प्लॉयमेंट आयज गोंयच्यो इतल्योश्योच इंडस्ट्री आसा. आयज आमच्या मदीं जर प्लेसमेंट सेल स्ट्रॉंग जाले जाल्यार म्हाका दिसता की एम्प्लॉयमेंटाक आमी कंपनीक डायरेक्टली कोरिलेट करून युनिवर्सिटीन एम्प्लॉयमेंट हाडूंक शकता. पूण आयच्यो कंपनीज आसा त्यो गोंयच्या भुरग्यांक सोडून भायर वचून तांकां हायरींग घेता आनी गोंयचे भुरगे आमी हांगाच उरता. आनी जेन्ना हे 2 इश्यू म्हणटा तेन्ना म्हाका दिसता की एज्युकेशन आसूं नाल्यार आनी कितें आसूं, आमी एज्युकेशनाक इतलो आमचो आवय बापूय पयसो मोडटा, कितलेशेच लाख मोडटा, पूण म्हाका दिसता एट दी एंड ROI कितें, भुरग्याक जॉब मेळना. हो भुरग्याच्या मदीं जो मेंटल प्रेशर पडटा पळय ते म्हाका दिसता कोण सांगूंक शकना. ते केन्ना म्हाका सांगपाक पॉसिबलूच ना. ह्या खातीर खुबशे सुसायड्स जाता, खुबशे हार्ट अटॅक घेवन मारता, यंग भुरगे मारता. सो म्हाका दिसता की आयज हेका एक सोल्युशन येवपाक जाय. सोल्युशन म्हटल्यार कितें, चड व्हडलें कांय न्हू. जे आमी युनिवर्सिटीन चेंज करून दाखयला पळय ते आमी गोंया खातीर सुद्दां चेंज करून दाखोवपाक जाय. आनी हे अशें न्हू की खंयची पॉलिटिकल पार्टी आसतली नाल्यार कितें आसतलें, फाल्यां सरकार कोणाचो आसूं, हांव सांगता की युथा अगेन्स्ट जेन्ना कितें जातलें पळय तेन्ना यूथ उडपाक जाय, युथान उलोवपाक जाय. कारण जर आमी उलयना जाल्यार आमकां सगळे चिपून वयतले. म्हाका दिसता की युथांचो आवाज म्हणटा तो विधानसभे मेरेन पावपाक जाय. तो एका टायमार पावतालो, आतां थंड जाला, पूण आमी थंड जावंक ना. आमकां मातसो एक चार्ज करपाची गरज आसा. सो वयताना चड व्हडलें कितें सांगिना, पूण आयज हांव जें कितें करून पावलो, एक कावन्सील घडोवन पावलो, हेजो जो काहीसो श्रेय म्हाका दिसता आमी सराकूच दिवपाक जाय, आमच्या चीफ गेस्टाक. कारण ताच्या कडल्यान हांव खूब कितें शिकलां. आनी अशें न्हू की सरान म्हाका घेवन बसून शिकयला, पूण ताका पळोवन हांव शिकलां. एकलव्य कसो शिकलेलो तसोच हांव बी शिकलां ताका पळोवन. आनी म्हाका दिसता की आयज हांवें ह्या युनिवर्सिटीक म्हाजो प्रायम एज दिल्लेली आसा आनी ह्या युनिवर्सिटीन म्हाका आपलो प्रायम पोजिशन दिल्लो आसा. ह्या खातीर हांव ह्या युनिवर्सिटीच्या भुरग्यांचे सदींच आभार आसतलो. We came, we saw, we conquer. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ritik, for sharing your inspiring vision, and it all depicts your commitment to serve the students' community. Once again, thank you. Now I would request our Vice Chancellor, Professor Harilal Menon, sir, to please address the gathering.
Honorable Member of Legislative Assembly of Goa State, Shri Vijay Sarveshwar, my colleagues, Professor Duri, Registrar Goa University, and Professor Anthony, DSW Director, all other colleagues who are assembled here, Deans and Vice Deans, a very warm welcome to you, all of you. In fact, we have assembled here for the installation of a newly elected Goa University campus students union. In this regard, I have certain advices to my younger colleagues. First one is that, Goa University, unlike any other universities in the neighborhood, the other state, we regularly conduct the elections because we have to inculcate the idea of democracy. Because at this age, a university is not meant for only to teach and to study and then of course do research and then the community engagement, etc. But also overall holistic development. And especially you must know that what is democracy, and then from here you are all becoming the next future generation leaders. So therefore my advice to you is that you must always see that, because I heard a very the thrilling speech of our president. He was, going ahead with, with the inauguration itself. He was speaking on his agenda. But you must always remember that duty and responsibility, especially rights and responsibility, will go parallel. When you ask for the right, you must also say that I have certain responsibility. I must do that. Only then the democracy will sustain. And similarly, you must also know that the freedom and discipline should go parallel. Please consider that, in fact, in a democratic setup, you have your own ideologies, but with one ideology, majority is getting elected, and then you are becoming you are getting the position. But always remember that once you get a position, don't think that you will take care of only those who are elected for you. Rather, you are meant for the entire community here. That you must see. You are not, like 50% of the students might have voted for you, another 25 might not have. But then always see that, because that is where you have to develop your leadership quality. Basically, the democracy, in fact, the university, Goa University is very particular about this election, because we want to see that the next generation leaders are coming out in a very nice fashion. In the sense that, especially you must be very humble. Because if you are egoistic and then go to anyone, nobody will come to you and explain their difficulties. Rather, you must be you should have the humility, you should be very humble, and try to see that what are the problems the students are facing with, and then you should act like an interface between the Goa University administration and the students, so that we would be able to see that we would solve all those, the problem which students are facing. And another important thing is that, if I explain you the kind of activity Goa University is doing, for the first time in the history of Goa University, we got A+ NAC grade. Okay, so that the certificate you get here is very strong enough, you would be able to compete with anyone. That is one. Second thing is that we were the first among the universities in the country implementing NEP-based curriculum. Because why NEP-based curriculum? Because you are getting lots of options, elective courses. The kind of development going on in the technology and other aspects is such that you should be, in a position to, or university should be in a position to equip you once you complete your degree, and when you go out, you should be able to get a job. You should not feel that you should get job only here, because you must see that. Because I should be very happy if I see that one of my student is working as in a highest position in Delhi or Bombay or anywhere else. I will say that he is my student. That is the kind of education we are giving here, because that is where NEP comes into picture. Because you know that 2 years of program, 2 years of postgraduate program, 1 year is basically research. And again, I always, entrust to my colleagues and of course the students that research should be Goa-centric research. Because there are so many problems which Goan population is confronting with. So that should be your problem, and that should be taken care. In fact, I have also told, when I had a casual discussion with some of my colleagues of social sciences, I said there are, the life expectancy of Goa is going up. There are many above 75, but they are all perfectly alright. They don't have any lifestyle disease, but their problem is loneliness because their children are settled abroad. And sometimes only father is there or mother is not there, or both are there, but they have loneliness related one. So study that on the length and breadth of Goa by the School of Social Sciences, and then in collaboration with the computer science, you will be able to come out with the technology. So that's the way you have to think. That is where that is the reason why we were the first to implement NEP-based curriculum. And then let me also tell you that when Government of India has come out with the PM Usha, Prime Minister Uchchata Shiksha Abhiyan, we were the first to go in front, because many said that it's very difficult to get it. But with all the preparation we have presented, and finally we could get 100 crore. 100 crore during the last 3 years is what we have done, I'm saying. And you can see the developmental activities going on. And in fact, I would vouch you that we have equipments here which even not national institute like NIO, NCBR has that. We have those kind of instruments. For whom it is? It's for people like you. Because once you are trained in that, where it will be easy for you to get a job. In fact, we are also trying to now offer certificate courses by training in that instruments. So likewise, there is an overall development. We are also going to have international hostel because we believe that Goa University should become a global university. That is possible only when you attract more international students also on campus. Because you have to have, for example, let me tell you that I don't want any of my students here to be like a frog in the well. Rather, you have to have an interaction with the international students so that the local becomes global. So these are the kind of activity we have been doing, and that is the reason why we thought that let the election also be done so that the kind of democracy, kind of democratic process will be imbibed in the minds of the students and each one. In fact, tomorrow I will not know. Among you itself, you will become the minister or MLA or minister, and then you will develop a good character. Always remember that positive thoughts are the basics for a human behavior. Once you have a positive thought, your deed will be positive. Once your deed is positive, your action will be positive. Once your action is positive, your behavior will be positive. Once your behavior is positive, your destiny will be positive. So you are destined to become a person. Once you are positive means your outlook itself will be positive, so that you will be able to become a good leader in the state, of course, and perhaps in the country also. We would be, because this is the largest democracy in the world. Imagine that. So therefore, you would be able to contribute that, and that is the kind of training I want you to get here in Goa University. I don't want to, speak further. Rather, we have an eminent personality sitting here in the form of Shri Vijay Sardeshai. Everybody is waiting for that. Sir, thank you so much for accepting our invitation and coming over here. In fact, extremely happy that we have in a democratic system. It's not that only the majority, minority. For example, let's say the leader of opposition. His ranking is cabinet rank. That is the the rules and regulations prevailing in our country. So in the sense that we have to have opposition and the ruling party, and only then the democracy can grow. With these few words, I thank once again for inviting me, and also I thank Shri Vijay Sardeshai for accepting this, and your gracious presence here is very much appreciated. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your positive words. You have spread a lot of positivity over here, and you have motivated us for being from Goa University students to getting exposure throughout the group. Now I would request our chief guest, Shri Vijay Sardesai sir, to please address the installation ceremony.
Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor Harilal Menon, Registrar Professor Duri, Director of Student Welfare, Strengthening Viegas, Office Bearers of the Goa University Campus Students Union, led by Ritik Mandrekar, the deans, the vice deans, the members of the faculty, and my dear students. First, I would like to thank you for inviting me here for this important and proud moment in the life of the present elected council. Ritik spoke more like a politician and less like a student, but that is the way it should be. The Vice Chancellor also has hoped that we will be creating leaders of tomorrow from within the ranks of a well-educated and an esteemed institution like the Goa University. Incidentally, I also was the chairman of the Goa University Students' Council, the whole thing, in I think 91. I think it was 91. But Dr. Dubashi was the Vice Chancellor then. I was a very vocal critic of the goings on in the university. My sisters were teaching here at that. My sister was teaching in the Konkani department and another in the Marine Biotechnology department. Even they were called and warned by the Vice Chancellor then. What is your brother up to? He's gone berserk and he's trying to fight the injustice as if all the injustice is here in the university. But that's the way we are. कोंकणीन सांगो जाल्यार भुरग्याक अन्याय जालो असो दिसता आनी मागीर तो फुडें सरता. रितिकान रेफरन्स केलें मायकल लोबोचें की मायकल लोबोन म्हणलें की गोंयकार गोंयचे भुरगे सुशेगाद जाल्यात. म्हाका दिसता यू हॅव टू टेक इट इन द रायट वे. ही इज बेसिकली ट्रायंग टू प्रोवोक यू टू शो दॅट तुमी सुशेगाद न्ही म्हणून. Prove him wrong. Prove him wrong. And you don't have to only fight the university. You have to fight the government perhaps tomorrow. Because it's the government that's doing injustice to you. Who's responsible for the unemployment? The Honorable Vice Chancellor talked about loneliness amongst the parents. Why that loneliness? Because the children are going abroad for jobs. Who's supposed to give those jobs? Those jobs are supposed to be given by the government. You know, here there is a cash for jobs scam. Government is selling jobs which were meant for the youth, and the youth are quiet. So Michael Lobo is right. He has provoked you. He's told you, arise. Swami Vivekananda's, in the International Youth Day, we have observed that day. What did he say? That organize and never ever flinch until you reach the goal. So basically, he makes you to arise. So leaders of tomorrow have to arise. Because it cannot be in the comfort of, even after having won an election, united university panel. You have to see that whatever you promised has to be achieved. Now you talked about the chairman of the placement cell, dedicated chairman. कोण आता तो? खंयच्यान स्वता? तुमच्या भितरल्यान काय भायल्यान? But this will have to follow up with labor and employment. So I will also these issues that he has raised. We have a incoming session in March, which I expect to be the budget session. So it's a 1 month old session. In the past, I have also fought for your bus here. The electric buses. So we have raised these issues. Placement is important. I believe. It is in the university itself, when you are on the verge of completion of your course, that you should get a job. Why should you go out and then search for a job or buy a job like what is happening in Goa? So you will see this guy is a very vocal critic and we have brought the wrong guy as a chief guest. But the fact is, there is a case in the police station that jobs were sold, people were caught. So the government also admits that something wrong, there is something heavily wrong when it comes to employment. We are the second highest unemployed state in the country. First being Lakshadweep. Lakshadweep is not even a state. It is just a tiny piece of land. So can't look at it as a state. Goa, with so much of socio-political consciousness, such high literacy, is still having this problem of unemployment. One thing could be, as the Honorable Vice Chancellor said, that we are studying things and we are not studying to solve our problems. Universities are meant to solve long pending problems of the state. For example, I would say that more than loneliness, there is a very typical problem in Konkani, the southernmost tip of Goa. People are dying of kidney diseases. Everybody, 1 in 3 person is having a kidney problem. Why is it happening that only these people from Konkani are affected? I have been talking this for the last 13 years as a legislator. 13 years the government has done nothing. I request the Goa University to study this as a project, and by the end of this year, give us a solution, because we are trying best to throw this government and new government to come in place, and we will solve it according to your recommendation. This government will do nothing. They didn't do for 13 years. They won't do anything now. I'm quite sure about it. But you give us the solution, we'll do it in this year itself, because at the end of this year I expect an election. So Speaker sir, I think the Vice Chancellor will say that this guy is too much of too drastic in his demeanor. But the fact remains, democracy is a right. You cannot take credit for conducting an election alone. You have to conduct an election. And whether you like it or not, even if you don't like the person, that person has to be anointed if the students like it. That is democracy. That is the strength of our next generation. We have seen Gen Z bringing down governments in Nepal and everywhere. It's your future. It's not. We are halfway down. The Vice Chancellor is a little more than me. The future is yours. So you have to fight to protect your future. You don't have to fight to protect our, loneliness in our old age. You fight for your future, and for that you will have to have a clear vision. The vision cannot be only to create unrest. No. You will have to have a vision, as the Vice Chancellor says, you have to know your rights and at the same time your duties. Your responsibility towards protecting this democracy. It cannot be a mobocracy. It has to be a democracy. There are responsibilities for everyone. But we have to identify our problems. We cannot say that all is well. All is never well. And the youngsters can never believe that all is well. How can the youngsters believe this? I is not a youngster. I'm 55 years of age. I don't believe everything, all is well. In my life, I don't believe all is well. I'm not happy with the way I am. You don't have to be happy at all with the way you are. You have to be, you have to have the fire in the belly to progress, to go forward, to make something out of your life. बरें जर कितें करतले हे गोंय पसून जर फुडें वतले जाल्यार गोंयकारांक एक दिशा दाखोवपी लिडरशीप गरजेची. ही लिडरशीप आज गोंयांत कितें जाल्या? For the sake of the understanding of the Vice Chancellor, leaders of tomorrow in Goa happen to be sons and daughters of the present MLAs or whatever. Everybody is propping up their sons. Are these the leaders of tomorrow? Have they won the university election? Why should you accept them as your leaders? From one amongst you should be a leader. And what Kritik said is very correct. It has to be that somebody from you reaches the assembly. In the past, understand one thing, when Assam was burning, when there was All Assam Students Union, which formed a political party of its own called the Assam Gana Parishad, that Prafulla Mohanta and Birgu Pukan, they became Chief Minister and Deputy Chief Minister of Assam. They ruled the state. Students ruled the state. And students formed a political party. So it can happen. In Goa also, there was a big student movement. A movement that gave you 50% concession. 50% concession that you will have got is not because of the charity of the government. The buses were burnt down, the whole state was paralyzed, and then only you got it. You didn't just get it like that. So this thing will even go from you if you start wearing uniforms, which I have heard that suddenly colleges are trying to make students wear uniform. So they are trying to be disciplined, so much of discipline they are trying to make you. This is not the age to wear uniform. This is the age to be creative, to be wearing something that makes style. I like his hairdo. This is the way it should be. It's funky, but it's nice. It's the way and it's not about how he looks, it's what he's got in his grey matter. So that's what matters. So all in all, I would understand what Ritik says. The issues, the challenges today are education, are unemployment, and the stress that comes with the mix of both. Now things like the Wi-Fi, campus amenities, I think you will have to do this. The university has to show that it is working for the students, and if you are not getting good enough money from the government to tell me, I'll fight on your behalf in the assembly for that. The fact remains that this university is threatened the most with what we are doing in the assembly. Every now and then we are passing a new private university bill. Universities which during Manohar Parrikkar's time I was in the government, we were thinking of getting Ivy League colleges, not Parul, that Gadpat, led by very dodgy individuals. Those were not the universities that we were trying to bring. We were trying to bring all these Ivy League Asia Pacific campuses here. We told the mine owners that you all have the land, we'll give you the permission. But now the government is giving these people land and getting universities not of repute. So Goa will be just a degree production center. And every now and then we are being told that the new NEP says that you need cluster-based universities, you need this private universities. For GIM we have made a separate bill to make a university in the present case. So I fear that there will be two classes of people. One class which can buy education, the other one which has to live in lower ranks. So this NEP may be creating this two classes of or two types of students. One who can afford who can buy a degree, study in a good university. Other, you have to just make do. So, this is a fear, and this you have to, I think you have to even educate the legislators. So, whether we are doing right, there is a select committee on private universities. There is a select committee on these clusters. I am there in that team. I am taking advice from some of the people from your university itself. Because I believe that the government of Goa is not at all bothered about the Goa University. First thing, they are taking your land, yes or no, Mr. Vice Chancellor? They have taken your land for setting up their pharmacy college or that. So they are taking your land, they are establishing parallel universities, giving them recognition and doing nothing about your university. What is the government doing for you? So should you not ask questions? Does this education policy, should it not serve the Goan students first? So I do not understand whether a public university should exist to serve markets. It is supposed to serve students and empower them. Here it's like they are serving markets, and we are talking about strengthening democracy. So this two-tier education system, one for those who can afford the high fees, and the others who are asked to compromise on quality. This thing is something that you have to fear, you have to acknowledge, and you have to fight. Because education is a right. Education is not a favor that somebody is doing for you. So some people cannot afford that education, the others have to compromise for quality. This is something which is a scenario which we can see. And after all this, there are no jobs. So what is education for? And now you have AI, you have challenges, technological challenges which are going to affect your employment. So my belief is, if Goa University is weakened, then Goa is weakened. If Goa University is strong, then you have a stronger Goa, a stronger next generation of leaders, and leaders who can give us a better future, who can take Goa forward. So only a public university can safeguard Goa's intellectual, cultural, and environmental future. Private universities are not going to see this. Private universities will not care a damn about Goa's culture, about Goa's environment. Not at all. Why will they become bothered? They will be producing degrees. Only the Goa University can be giving us good inputs to protect our intellectual, cultural, and environmental future. So students have to be taken as stakeholders in this, not as subjects. You all are not, part one, the university administration rules and you all are subjects, no. You all are stakeholders. You all have equal importance. And young minds cannot be controlled. Young minds have to be given the right to think. And the university is not a school. So no uniform. Oppose the uniform. This is my stand on this. I may be an outspoken politician. Tomorrow I become the chief minister, I'll be 100% sure nobody has to wear a uniform. No need to wear a uniform. So silencing voices does not create harmony. Students are not outsiders on the campus. They are primary stakeholders and they have to be respected, they have to be empowered, they have to be protected. I think I am giving an overdose of critical thinking that normally I am known for. But I believe a university has to be a space where students ask questions. They express dissent and participate in decision making. Because that's how confident citizens are made. That's the way I have become. My father was not a politician. My father was an academic, a PhD. I became a politician and I have won 3 elections. And not with principal parties, not the Congress, not the BJP. I have won as an independent and I have won with a party that was formed by me. So, you can also be this. And this is what I see in even Ritik. The way he speaks, he has been very clear in his mind. And taking politics as a profession is not bad. It's very good. Especially the girls who are there. We are going to have a reservation coming soon. 33% reservation. We won't have women leaders. We'll have to search somebody's wife and somebody's sister. That is what it is. So this women reservation basically empowers families only of leaders. So good leaders will be amongst you all. Those who get elected at साडीवर सगळ्यांनी बरोबर घाल्या. पण लिडरशिप तोंडही उघडे करून उलोवंक जाय. आनी उलयतली अशें म्हणून म्हाका होप आहा. As a legislator and as a person who deeply believes in public education, I can give you this assurance that I will raise the concerns of the Goa University students and also of the administration on the floor of the House. We will see that we will question policies that weaken public universities. Public universities cannot be weakened. We should not allow them to be weakened. So we will question these policies unitedly. United University Moduji. Unitedly, let's go forward. I do hope that I have not provoked you too much, and I am feeling sorry for the Vice Chancellor, for being. You don't have to think that you are at the receiving end here. It is the government that is at the receiving end, and I am supposed to be one of the most vocal critics of this government. I cannot come to the Goa University and suddenly change my route, बदलून बरो सारको सभ्य मनीस जावंक शकना. जे असेंब्लीत उलयता त्या भशेन हांगा उलयता आनी म्हाका म्हजे असले तुमी आनी लिडर जावचे हाजे खातीर हांव उलयल्लो आहा. आनी ते मायकल लोबोन म्हणल्यार तें आय सपोर्ट की तुमी सुशेगाद जाले ते जालेच दाखोवन दिया की तुमी सुशेगाद न्ही म्हणून. He has provoked you correctly, and I believe that this provocation will be positively taken by you, and you all unitedly will go forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for highlighting some of the social